There are moments in the electric vehicle world when the ground shifts beneath our feet. Not because of a flashy new paint job or a 0 to 60 time, but because of a fundamental change in how the machine is built. If you have been paying attention to the steady stream of leaks and official updates regarding the Rivian R2, you might have noticed a pattern. It feels intentional. It feels like a weekly ritual where the company peels back a layer of the curtain to reveal something that isn't just a mini R1. They are signaling a complete manufacturing overhaul. If you look past the hype, the R2 is shaping up to be an engineering pivot that could define the company's survival and future profitability. The most recent and perhaps most critical update centers on a component with a deceptively whimsical name, the Treehouse. While the name suggests something playful or outdoorsy, fitting for the brand, the engineering reality is serious business. The Treehouse is a massive, high-pressure die-cast module that serves as the nervous system of the vehicle. In the older R1 platform, the components that handle power were scattered. You had a charger here, a converter there, and a controller somewhere else, all connected by meters of copper wiring and dozens of brackets. With the R2, Rivian has taken a different approach. They have collapsed the high-voltage electronics, the rear zonal controller, the battery contactor, the DC to DC converter, and the onboard charger into this single unified Treehouse block. Even if you aren't an electrical engineer, the implication here is massive. It's the difference between carrying a bag full of separate gadgets versus carrying a single smartphone that does it all. Crucially, this module integrates a bi-directional charger. This is a feature that transforms the car from a simple drain on the grid into an active energy asset. It means the R2 isn't just for driving, it's a mobile power station capable of running power tools at a campsite, charging a stranded EV, or even powering your home during a blackout. By baking this directly into the architecture, rather than adding it as an afterthought, Rivian is telling us that utility is core to the R2's DNA. But the real shock, the detail that has industry analysts scrutinizing the blurry freeze frames of engineering videos, is what is happening underneath the floorboards. The battery pack has been completely reimagined, and the numbers are staggering. To understand the scale of this change, you have to look at the R1. A typical R1 battery pack is a complex beast containing roughly 7,777 small cylindrical cells. That is nearly 8,000 tiny metal cans that need to be arranged, cooled, and electrically connected. It is a manufacturing nightmare of welds and wires. For the R2, Rivian has slashed that number to just 768 cells. This isn't a typo, it is a nearly 10x reduction in part count. They achieved this by abandoning the smaller industry standard cells and moving to a massive new format known as the 4695 cell. These are cylindrical cells that are 46 millimeters in diameter and 95 millimeters tall, significantly larger than even the 4680 cells Tesla has been trying to ramp up. Why does this matter to you as a potential buyer or investor? Because in manufacturing, complexity is the enemy of affordability. By using these massive cells, Rivian can use the battery itself as a structural component. The cells add rigidity to the chassis, meaning the car needs fewer brackets and reinforcements. Fewer cells mean thousands fewer welds, thousands fewer electrical connections, and drastically fewer points of failure. This is how you take a luxury electric truck brand and make it affordable for the mass market without going bankrupt. However, there is no such thing as a free lunch in physics. This move to massive cells brings us to the most controversial trade-off of the R2 platform: thermal management and charging speed. This is where the excitement needs to be tempered with a bit of reality. The geometry of a battery cell dictates how fast it can charge. When you push electricity into a battery, it generates heat. In a small cell, that heat has a very short distance to travel to get to the surface where a cooling channel can whisk it away. But in these giant 4695 cells, the heat generated in the center of the cylinder is trapped much deeper inside. Historically, larger cylindrical cells have struggled to shed heat efficiently. If you can't keep the cell cool, you can't blast it with high amperage charging current. We've seen this play out with other vehicles using large format cells. Their charging curves often plateau earlier or stay more conservative compared to cars using the smaller, intricate 2170 cells. There is a very real possibility that the R2 will not be a charging speed demon. While competitors might be chasing 350 kilowatt peaks and bragging about 10-minute charge times, Rivian seems to be optimizing for something else: cost and reliability. The 4695 cell allows them to build the car cheaper, which is the only way to hit that aggressively low starting price. So is this a deal breaker? Likely not. Rivian is betting that the average consumer cares more about the price tag, the interior space, and the adventure capability than they do about saving 4 minutes at a supercharger. The R2 is expected to have a boxier, more cargo-friendly shape, a powered frunk that remains a fan favorite, and likely a tri-motor performance variant that will still offer eye-watering acceleration. Furthermore, the charging ecosystem has changed. With native access to the NCAS Tesla network, the R2 will have access to the most reliable charging infrastructure on the planet from day one. Even if the peak charging speeds are modest, the reliability of the network makes the experience seamless. Ultimately, the R2 represents a mature, calculated gamble. Rivian is moving away from the cost-is-no-object engineering of the R1 and entering the ruthless arena of mass manufacturing. They are trading the complexity of 7,000 cells for the simplicity of 700. They are trading potential record-breaking charging speeds for a structural design that is easier and cheaper to build. It is a strategy that prioritizes the health of the company and the accessibility of the vehicle over bragging rights on a spec sheet. It's a bold move, and if the prototypes running on these new packs are any indication, the future of Rivian isn't just about making smaller trucks, it's about learning how to build them smarter.